Okay, sorry for the cut right there. I actually accidentally made Maya crash. I'm not sure how, but I actually did. So whatever, we'll start over. So yes, we were in the channel box editor, right? So let's create a cube again, and let's shade it. I didn't go through this from first time. You shade objects, so you can see them in shade mode with the lighting on. Well, not really lighting, but the default light setup on by hitting the 5 on your keypad. Or just hitting the number 5 basically. You can use the keypad or the numbers on top here. And 4 is wireframe, which is very useful if you want to see through them all. These are again just the wires of the model. So 5 is again shaded. 6 is hardware texturing, which I'll go through later. 7 is lighting, so we have no lightings up, so this will be completely black and look completely 2D if you just do this because we have no lighting on. Let's go back to 5 here. And one thing you can also do with the number keys, number pad or order, you can select the object and you can hit, if you hit 1, nothing happens, but if you, or actually if you are clever, you can see what happened here. Subdiv display smoothness dash smoothness 1. So this is basically with no smooth on. This is the general object here. So if we press, for example, 3, this is smoothness level 3. This is again just a preview. You can this isn't actually smoothing it. This is just for preview purposes, but it ups the poly count and actually smooths the object. So it's basically like going. And if we press 1 again, we go back to the normal view. You can also do this, but in a more permanent way, which is the only way to actually um, get rid of is to undo. So you can't just hit 1, is to go to mesh and then hit smooth, and it won't give as smooth a result, but again, if you just hit smooth a couple of times, um, it will get smooth. And again, if you're working on a general, you don't want to do this too much, because again, too many polygons, and polygon is another word for face, which we went through before. If you have too many, obviously your computer or the app Maya will crash, which I'm not going to demonstrate now. But again, and you can also, if you want this, if this is on 1 again, this is on 1. So if you press 3, it gets even smoother. So, and if you go up here and you check the faces here, we have 24,000 faces, which is not very useful. So let's go back to object mode here by right clicking and select the object mode. This lets you select objects in general. Let's undo that. I'll go back to before we smooth the model here. Let's see, when was that? Okay, there we go. Our cube is back. So we were in the attribute editor, right? Okay, so if we move this, or we have it centered here, okay? So these are the attributes, and you can edit them by translate this move. So if you see here, the x-axis is side to side here. So as you can see, while I'm dragging this, the attribute editor actually changes uh, by the attributes that I'm moving it from. So if I do that, if we want to move it, if we say let's say 16 of these boxes, basically 16. I don't know what it's called, but 16 of this distance, basically 16 times this distance. So then you can take the translate x and type in, just press the number here and type in 1 6 for 16, obviously, and bam, it moves it 16 ones, 16 entries to the left for this example here, or actually right. We're opposite, so. And we can also translate it up and down, which is y. As you can see here, this is the green one, this is y. As you can see, you can just type in, let's say 16 again, and it will go up 16. These units, basically, units which are this one distance here. So 16 up here, and we can move this front and back, which is z, the z or z axis, which again you can see it how it changes. So let's type in 16 again, and you have it up here. And as you can see now, see how it rotates on a very awkward angle here when you try to rotate the camera with the viewport. Um, that is because it tries to set the pivot point of the camera somewhere in between these two objects here, to make it the most viewable. And this is not always what you want. You just want to be able to rotate around a separate object, so it will be easier for you to view. So to do that, you select the cube here by left clicking and dragging on top of it, or just clicking on it, and you can hit F to frame up on it, which it sizes it up to the size, so you can see the entire thing in the viewport. And again, what you will see here is that the camera's pivot point has been placed inside the cube. So now, if we zoom out here again, you can see the viewport rotates around the cube. And that is very useful, actually. That is one of the features I use too much. And if we want to, let's say we have this camera, okay, I forget to say things here. To do that, to show the other view with the 4 viewports here, you just tap spacebar. And just to demonstrate, if you hold spacebar, you'll see this, which is the hotbox, basically. And you'll see all the, again, all the little menus here, which you click on and do things. I've set these to, so I have a lot of things here. So I have animation, polygons, curves, which are surfaces, polygon effects, rendering, cloth, classic cloth. So, and you can also, as you see these arrows here, if you right click here, you get one, which here you can choose what view you want, and here you can choose what you want to select, or what you want to mask. Here you can select what if you want to open a window. Here you can select different windows again that you can open. So this is a very useful tool, which will quicken up your workflow a lot. And also if you click the little Maya thing here, you can go to top, side, front, all these from. So if I go front here, see I'm now in the front camera, or with the graphic camera. So let's go back to perspective here, and I have my other view set to 4 views, the 4 view way here, which is the default. And when you tap spacebar, then we get this, which is the 4 viewpoints here. Where you have the perspective view, which you can again just same thing that we did before with it. Then you have top view up here, which as you can see it says top down there, and you can do the same thing up here, and you see a box right there. So this is just looking down from the scene from above, from the z-axis, not the z-axis, y-axis, sorry. And this is the front view, which, yes, front view again, and this is the side view. So, and you can see that you have this little cube here. I'll show you that in the perspective view. So let's go into the perspective view by just hovering over it and hitting spacebar again.